Oh, I'm so pumped about this one.
Me too, man.
Ladies
Me too.
and gentlemen, 1-0. He did it. UFC debut Saturday. I don't know what time it was. Maybe like
About 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Man.
Right on the dot.
The storm
UFC is pretty
hit.
efficient.
The storm hit. Our man, Marcus Maniac McGee, made his debut and TKO submission. Well, I'm going to just call it. I mean,
TKO submission. I like that, actually. We're going to get both of them out there.
Man.
TKO submission.
Both of them, because
for the first time ever.
You did knock him out.
For sure.
I mean, in my opinion, that little left, lean to the right, straight left,
yeah.
Bang.
Yep. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. Definitely dropped him first and then finished with the submission. Crazy, man.
What a fight, man.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
That
I appreciate
had to be, I mean, I don't know. I'm riding high. I mean, it was so fun. We had a massive watch party here for you.
Yeah.
Everyone showed up. Zach gave me the call on Wednesday saying that you got called up, man, and you had to make 140 and had, I don't know, how many hours, how fast did it go? I mean, we got so much to cover on this, but just to start off on that, everybody, Marcus is now 1-0 in the UFC. So, I mean, first initial reaction, man, just let the people hear it. How you feeling? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I felt great afterward too, and I took it all in. I felt the moment, and I made sure I was there for the moment, because you don't get that many moments like that in life, and for it to happen like it did and everything to kind of play and fall in the part like it did, I definitely had to appreciate it, be grateful, and take it all in. So I took it all in, and it's going to be with me forever. Yeah, and just as fast as that moment came, it's gone, and it's on to the next one. So I still appreciate it so much, and definitely rode the high, especially the rest of Saturday, hanging out with my boys in Vegas. Rode the high, just walked around the city, kind of enjoyed it. It was really surreal and sunk in later on that night. And, now it's Monday and it's time to go, you know? So
on to the next. I mean, I'm going to bring it back, though. This is something that you've been working for. This is the moment that, post-fight interview, everyone go watch it, please. You're talking about in the gym, you don't say no to a sparring thing. I don't know. You and I have been talking. You've been trying to keep weight up for a long time, which is kind of hard to think about because you're keeping your body ready. You're not really rest, because we thought you were going to get another fight in the LFA. That didn't line up, right? And you get short called and you go. So, but leading up to that, we talk about our friendship and the things that you've done with moving up to becoming a fighter. All of this just in one moment, like you said, 15 minutes. But this is the moment that everyone has been working for, trying to get that deal. The big brand, UFC calls, and now you're there. I mean,
nuts how it works out that way, right? All the work for the last 10 years, all the blood, all the sweat, all the tears, all the camaraderie, all the relationships built, all built up to that moment, And that's kind of what I went in there with too. Is like, oh man, 15 minutes of a moment, even though it was like really 2 days of a moment, right? Because they did call me on Wednesday around like 11:50 to tell me about it, and everything moved pretty fast. But everything leading up to that big moment, it was only 15 minutes in the cage, and I told myself that I was like, man, this is everything led up to this 15 minutes, and I'm going to make sure that at the end of this 15 minutes, I do myself proud more so than anything. And I know that I definitely want to make everybody else proud too. And I know a lot of people believe in me, but at the end of the day, this is a decision that I made, and a path that I have to walk, So that's what I kept telling myself as well. It's like, it's great to have the support in such a great community, but they're supporting me based off of a decision that I made, and I have to walk that path. So when I was in there, I made sure that I was grateful and thankful for the fact that I got to, and I'm excited to continue doing it forward,
Yeah.
It was good.
4 fight, right?
Yeah, I got 4 fights, so that'll be good. So we got three more on the contract. So let's keep on doing it. I plan on winning all 4 of those, and then we'll see what happens next, or winning all 3 of the next ones, and then we'll see what happens next. Obviously, it's a fight game, and everyone's got two 2 hands, 2 elbows, 2 feet, 2 knees, all 8 limbs. So it's going to be what it's going to be, but I'm on it for the journey. I'm on it for whatever happens. So,
So take me back to Wednesday. Walk me through that whole day. I mean, yeah, well, at least just the phone call part. So how does that?
I'll walk you through the whole day because honestly, I think
let's do it.
I think it was kind of a cool day. So I'll walk you from Tuesday, right? So Tuesday night, I fasted Monday, Tuesday because again, I'm just trying to keep my weight low. I want to make sure that if I do get the call for the LFA, that I'm going to be more than ready to make the weight, because I was already in shape. I've been training really hard. But there's other things I could have still been doing training wise. I took a break back off because I've been training for so many months. So I was like, all right, maybe not as much strength and conditioning for the next 2 weeks, and I was just waiting to hear on what fight news would look like, but I wanted to make sure I kept my weight low. So I was fasting Monday, Tuesday, right? So Tuesday night I would usually eat, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to eat Tuesday night. Something just told me, man, I'm not going to eat Tuesday night. I was kind of still upset that I hadn't found a fight or anything going on. And I was like, all right, but it's all good. I'm not gonna eat. I'm just gonna go ahead and hang out with my fam and go to sleep. Well, I ended up dreaming that night that I would get a UFC call I dreamed I was gonna knock somebody out and then I was gonna get $50,000 bonus. I dreamed that Tuesday night. Crazy, right? And honestly, when I woke up in the morning, I didn't think about the fact that I dreamed it. It was just kind of like, oh, well, okay, that was really a random dream. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, that was just weird, and I kind of just shrugged it off. Well, Wednesday morning, I get up early, go out to my plants, water my plants, having my tea and everything, finish with my garden, come back or feed my dogs, and then drop my kids off at school because my son's legs broke, so I had to drop them off at school, So I drop them off at school, head to the gym for jiu-jitsu. Do jiu-jitsu that morning. Felt great doing jiu-jitsu, still fasting, not haven't eaten yet because I was going to eat first and then go to jiu-jitsu. But I was like, no, I'm going to go train fasted. It's something about that feels good sometimes, So I was like, I'm going to go train fasted, And so I went and trained fasted and then got done training. Was talking to some guys at the gym, at 10:30, 10:45 comes around. I'm like making my way outside of the gym, get to my truck. I'm like, all right, finally, I'm going to go get some food. And, I was like, I hadn't got a call from anybody about a fight yet. So I was like, I might go get more food than I need.
Yeah. Might go get elevated nachos.
Maybe, but I was gonna go to Clean Eats. Is where I was gonna go. I was still gonna go to Clean Eats because I was still like, man, I'm not gonna give up on myself. I'm gonna still be in shape for a fight. But I was like, man, I'm gonna eat 1,500 calories from Clean Eats though. As well. I was telling myself, all right, if I go up to 57, 58, whatever, I can still get down. In the time. So I was like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. So I jump in my truck. I get ready to start heading over there. I see that I missed a call from my manager, and right as I'm about to call my manager, my coach calls, and I'm about to pass 35th Avenue, and he's like, "Hey, Marcus McGee," and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "How we feel about fighting in the UFC this weekend?" I was like, "You mean like Saturday?" He's like, "Yes, Saturday." I was like, yes. Yes, say less. He was like, all right, great. Make sure you get ready to go. Make sure, I don't know how fast it's going to be until you have to go. So make sure you get home and get ready to go. So instead of going straight to Clean Eats, I took a left and went home.
Yeah, all right.
So I went straight home. Mind you, the whole time I said yes. I'm like, man, I just said yes to fighting somebody on 2 days notice in the UFC. I have to go make weight. I have to fly to Vegas. I'm like, oh my goodness, but it was what it was. And so I headed home, ended up starting to pack my clothes, get everything ready like I needed to, ended up having to go get my blood test like I needed to, finish the things I needed to finish here. And then they had me booked for a flight the next morning.
Thursday
morning.
Gone.
Yep. So I had to be at the airport by 5:45 Thursday morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So for us, I was in Louisiana at the time. I was on a bachelor party getaway, and I get the call from Zach. He's like, "How fast can you organize for a watch party?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Marcus just got called up," and I got some back things going down. I had 2 herniated. I just about threw my back out again, dude. I was so pumped, especially hearing your side of everything, watching you go through what you go through, and finally getting that call. I was blown away, man, and hearing the fact that it's finally here, short call. I mean, you were mentioning it. You were talking about it.
Yeah.
And you kept like
putting it in the universe.
Yeah, you did. Because you were talking about like the guy from Canada. You talked about him, and then you talked about trying to get one here. But then you're like, every now and then, in between these, you might get like called up. You might get called, but it's a short notice call. And then you broke that down for me of what that looks like. And you're like, it is what it is. It's my foot in the door. Like, even if like I come out and it is a loss or whatever it is, you're like, I'm still in, and you kept just putting it out there. And I don't think I accidentally called 2 other people in my phone trying to call you because I was like slippery hands. My hands were sweaty and I was fumbling my phone everywhere. And I don't even think I sounded right on the phone when I called you. I was like, hey, okay, oh my God. It was so embarrassing because I think my boy was standing there and he was like, who'd you call? Like,
what is even going on?
What's wrong with you? And I was like, he was the podcast. He's in the UFC. Like I was just like pumped, dude. And so I was staying in contact. We were trying to organize as quick as we could, and Zach was being modest, like, hey, 30, 40 might show up. No, dude, pack the house, right? So from a fan's perspective, I would really, really love to hear this part of it where, okay, you get in there Thursday morning, and how does that all go? Especially if you're one of the guys who is short called, like how fast do they get you up to speed? What's the process? So what's going down over there?
Super quick. Well, usually, I've been to a lot of UFC events just because I can have high level training partners, Mario Bautista, Kyler Phillips, Sugar Sean Monty, Casey Kenny, all those guys, right? Janet Cannonier, all these guys I've been able to pick their mind from. I mean, one of the best in the world to ever do it in the UFC, Ben Henderson. I've picked their minds about it, so I've got to know what it's like during the week. And usually you'll get there Tuesday and everything starts Tuesday. You start with your media type of obligations, get all your sizes, all your equipment for your gear throughout the week. And that's what you usually do Tuesday, make sure everything's taken care of. Then Wednesday, you actually have other media obligations, pictures, fight, different types of things going on that you have obligations for too. But normally you're just chilling through the week, getting your own training sessions in Tuesday, Wednesday, and finishing up your media obligations. And then Thursday is obviously more of a relaxed day. You might have a couple of different things you have to report for on Thursday, but not much because we're going to start our weight cut that night, right? So I show up at 6:00 on Thursday. I haven't done any of the other things that I needed to do yet. So basically I show up. Well, I didn't show up at 6:00. I had my flight arrived in Vegas at 8:05, maybe 9:05. Yep, my flight arrived in Vegas 9:05. Got picked up, which was actually kind of cool. And I have to share this story on that too.
Picked up like a limo, with the guy with the sign and everything?
The guy with the sign,
yeah.
And it says UFC and your name's on it, right? And I have to share that part of the story because when they pick you up and it's like a good company with a big limo, a big Cadillac Escalade, not a limo, but big service vehicle. And they have your name on a UFC plaque and it's like really cool, right? And what happens is, I went with Mario, Kyler, and Casey Kenny one time for one of their fights. And basically, when we showed up this is like 2 years ago, when we showed up to the airport in Vegas for their fight during COVID time, they had a sign for me. And my name was on it back in the day, 2 years ago before I was ever in the UFC, They had it on there and we took a picture of it and we were like, man, this is prepping you for when it's your time, foreshadowing, And so it was like came full circle when I showed up on Thursday and they had the sign for me and I was like, this is legit though. I'm fighting this time.
This is mine. Yeah.
Last time it was like, it was a ploy, right? Mm-hmm. But this time it was like, yeah, this one's for me, So that was kind of cool. But yeah, he picks us up. Basically we get to the hotel. I got about 30 minutes to get my stuff put wherever I need to get my stuff. Grab the food that they have because they'll have food bags for you every day. The UFC PI guys take care of that. Nutrition, help you make sure that you're going to make weight, that you don't have to worry about going to find food. They want to make sure everybody has all the outlets that they need to be able to be professionals, right? Because it's the biggest platform ever. 100%. Give guys the opportunity to be professional, and if they're unprofessional, that's on them, right? So I love that. I've always loved that about the UFC, that they at least go out of their way to do those things to make sure fighters have every option to do the right thing, and if they choose not to, then that's on them, right?
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I got that all arranged, but I only had about 30 minutes, then back down in the limo, head over to get all my medicals. I had to get blood work done. I had to get physical done. I had to get EKG. I had to get all the physical stuff that you have to get done beforehand, right? Because I had already done that earlier on in the year. for my LFA fight. But I had to, because I fought on January 6th, I had to get my paperwork and all that done between December 15th or December 20th and December 26th. So I got it done between that time, and because that's 2022, they weren't going to accept all my
yeah, it's had to be this new year, 2023.
Exactly.
So do you have to do that again?
No. Now throughout this whole year, I'm good. I have everything for the rest of this year, but every year we have to do that, right? So I had to go get all those things done, right? So ran over and got all those things done. After we get all those things done, in the midst of that, I had to go get my I had to do all my media obligations, get my pictures taken with my gear on, and all the behind scenes stuff that they had to do. So in the midst of doing all that, so between basically landing at 9:05, I didn't get done doing all those things to around 4:30, and we couldn't check right into the hotel. So my guys couldn't even just sit at the hotel; they had to come with me and do it all with me. So I felt bad for them because we're just going from building to building, sitting outside of the building, basically waiting for my appointment, and then with them waiting for me to get done, and then taking off again. So they're just rolling through. So that's basically how it went all Thursday. And then finally, once we got back to the hotel, we had about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to relax before we started my first cut, which was good too. That's when I noticed, like, okay, I'm losing weight good and things are going to be okay. Because I finally got to start calming down. Because that's when I finally was like, okay, everything's done. We're good to go. Now it's just time to make weight.
I got you. So let's stop right there for a second. I'm not trying to put this out there, but if, say, you're short called, you're the one that accepts and everything like that, and say something went wrong with the weight cut, how does that work? I mean, just does it, like, if you're not able to perform or make weight, what happens there?
So like if I got the short notice and I still couldn't make weight, but I showed up all the way over there, well, then he would get a piece of my purse still. He would get a piece of my purse if I had missed weight.
Would you guys still have fought?
Yeah,
if you were close?
He would have had the option, right? And if he has a choice, like if he could have been like, oh, you missed weight, I'm not fighting you, or he could have been like, okay, well, I want 40% based off of how much weight you missed, you know. So
say if it was like a pound.
If it was a pound, he could have still got part of my purse.
Oh.
Yeah. So, or he could have still denied to fight me. Like, they have that option too. It's up to the fighter and their team to decide whether it's worth it for them to take the fight. So that was one of the reasons why I made sure that I was going to be ready to take the fight. And if they had offered it to 36, offered it to me, if I had to make 36 straight up, I would have had to make it, but we want to fight, right? You know, and to make somebody cut that type of weight, even if I was at 47 and I had to cut to 30 and I had to cut to 36 in a 2-day period, to make somebody do that when you're getting a short notice call, it's like, now you're not wanting them to really fight. You're wanting them to be like a sheep to be
a punching bag,
you know, a punching bag. And it's like, you want to be able to really fight somebody on that type of notice too. So
correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 135, but it was a 140, right?
Yep. So 135 is our actual weight class, and then you get a pound variance. So you can weigh 136 every time unless it's a championship fight.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what the weight class we fight at. But yeah, we had a catch weight of 140.
So why is that?
Just because of the short notice.
The short notice. Okay, so the short notice thing allowed you to be 140.
Yep.
Just because it was that much of a deficit to try to cut down that much. And so you came in at 147, you said on Thursday?
No, on Thursday. When I showed up, when they called me on Wednesday, I was 153.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So when they called me on Wednesday, I was 153.
Okay.
Which is still not bad. You know, it's a good plate to be, especially when you're within weeks of a fight. You know, I didn't know I was gonna be 2 days within a fight. You know. And
so Thursday night, your first cut, where were you?
Oh, when I started the cut. When I started the cut, I got down to 40. I think I got down to 48 when I started the cut. So I started the cut from 48. Yeah, I finally got down to about that far, and then that's where I ended up cutting from.
Okay, so then first cut Thursday, about 148. So Friday, what's going down Friday?
So Friday morning is weigh-ins. So right, so I finished my cut in the morning, right? So that's what I did. I cut most of my weight. I think I cut 6 pounds, 7 pounds probably is what I cut that night. Basically, I cut 7 pounds. On Thursday night, and then sipped like maybe half a bottle of water just to make sure I can rest and be comfortable at night. And then woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and then cut the rest of the weight because weigh-in started at 9. So cut the rest of the weight when I woke up, made sure I was on weight, went down to the bus, got on the bus. They took us over to the to the UFC Apex, and then get us on the scale, get us faced off against our opponent, and we're rehydrating. So then we have our doctors. They check on us on the doctors and everything like that, just to make sure everything's good before the fight, pre-fight check. And And then yes, they ship us back on home, and once we get back to the hotel, now it's just rehydration, refuel. So basically, what they do is when they rehydrate you, they give you a set of drinks, and those drinks act as a straight rehydration pack, right? And what they'll have in them is electrolytes, glutamine, BCAAs, just all the things that you need to refill your body with, especially when we're sweating out so much weight with the weight cut, right?
Yeah.
Because most people are like, how could you even cut that much weight? What they don't realize is, as an athlete, we are consuming a lot of water. You know, we have to be able to consume a lot of water. So a lot of our weight cuts are not easy, but they're more manageable and doable and safe for us because of the water intake that we have, right? And that's why we're able to do that. But yeah, so that's what it is. They give us this pack of drinks, and we just make sure we stay on those drinks at the time that we're supposed to. Get full up on those drinks. Maybe have a little snacks, fruit, some cheeses, some bread in between, and then relax for about an hour, and then go grub. You know, and then just eat as much as I can all night without getting too crazy full.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And most it's all good stuff too. The UFC is great too because they give you reload meals as well. So I had all these meals that I could just literally keep on snacking on. You know.
Yeah.
But weird enough, this is the lightest I ever weighed in for a fight. When I actually showed back up, I gained the least amount of weight, and we only we agreed to 140. But usually I'd step in over 155 for sure.
Oh, he was.
I would usually step in.
Okay.
I usually would step in like 156, 157, 158 sometimes. You know, but this time I stepped in the cage around 152.
Oh,
you know,
okay. Yeah.
So I only got to 152 pounds. That's all I gained back when after the reload.
After the meals and everything.
After
Okay.
the meals and everything. So
Yeah.
I didn't really eat as much as I usually do or do anything, but I really still felt good. You know, I felt like I had done just what I needed to do. Woke up feeling rested and my body felt good. I ate still. I just didn't gain as much weight as I usually do. You know?
Man, you look like a beast. I mean, some of those pictures, we're going to have to go through some of those, especially the one where you're really flexing really hard.
the after
man.
picture.
No, the profile pictures, like the ones that I guess your media day, or is that after the fight?
Yeah,
or is
that's
that
after
before?
the fight. I think the ones that you're talking, because
Yeah.
I guess I was flexing on the pre-fight ones too. Yeah. I guess.
You were flexing,
Yeah, a
but
little
you
bit.
looked great, man. You were shredded. I mean, you look good.
Thank you, man.
I mean, definitely fight ready. Definitely had like the poise and everything like that. So, the pose, like right, and even like the profile pic of like your just the solo, or just the headshot, and then the one where like they put it's like on the matchup, and you guys are kind of like facing to the side, like you would be looking at each other, or like. You know, like that.
Yep.
That picture looked great too. All of them look good.
Yeah,
man.
dude. The UFC is the UFC is legit. They make everything look so good. Even when they were sending me the pictures, I was like, or showing me the pictures, I was like, this is gonna be so sick. You know, I was like, man, my skin looks all right too, man. I guess that tannin is paying off. You know,
some of those Don tattoos coming through.
Maybe put the tattoos on top of the tan skin. Ooh, somebody might be jealous.
Oh, and then your shorts hiked up a little high, trying to show the leg muscles
you know,
too.
we call that the thigh bulge. You know, gotta show them the thigh
bulging
bulge.
out.
Bulge, you got a bulge on them.
Change the name to the Bulge, Marcus the Bulge Maniac.
Marcus the Bulge Maniac. The Marcus the Bulge McGee. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that
Marcus
does have
the
a
Bulge.
ring to it. The
It
bulge.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna
I
be
don't
as
know.
marketable.
We'll
though.
revisit that one though. All right. So now Saturday, fight day. Bring it in.
So you know, just like every other fight day, woke up early. Started my breakfast early, so I woke up around 7:30. Got some breakfast and pancakes. I usually used to have pancakes, eggs, sausage, bacon, and then like some orange juice.
That's a great fight day meal, man.
100%. That's my favorite thing to do. That's one of my favorite. My favorite meal is fight day meal. You know, in the morning, fight day breakfast is like my favorite meal. But I do waffles. That's what I usually do. But I had pancakes. The UFC had that's what one of their meals was pancakes. So I had that. Relax for about another hour, and then we do a pre-fight warm-up, right? So what that is, we just get our blood going early, and we just get our lungs. I get my first lung burn that morning, and I would normally wait till around 10, 12 o'clock to do it, because I usually wouldn't fight till like 6, 7 o'clock at night. But since we were fighting at 2 o'clock, I was like, oh man, we're going to have to do it early because we have to get to their venue around 11. So I needed to get all this done right away. So by 8:15, I'm in the workout room doing our pre-fight shakeout. So we did our pre-fight shakeout, worked on things that we're thinking we're going to have to work on for the fight, get my lungs burning, get a little sweat going, and then back up to the hotel, relax for about an hour. And then next thing I know, gear up, put all of our gear in the bag, head to the arena, you know. So we're off to the arena, get to the arena. They set us up in our room. USADA comes and grabs me, you know, because I'm a clean tested athlete, you know.
UFC professional. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And they were awesome too. Like I really respect like what they do, you know, and it's cool now to kind of get like an understanding of what they're trying to do and how they're doing it too, because I didn't really know. And from the outside in, you know, it's always like you're always wondering like, oh, how does that even work? What's going on with that? So to kind of talk to them and kind of get an idea of what they're doing, how they come at us, what they're doing for us was really cool. And their staff was really cool too. So it was awesome to have that experience with them as well, and just kind of, you know, pee in the cup, you know. So,
bet, man.
So that was kind of cool too. So yeah, they come grab me. I did my USADA stuff, pee in a cup. They get all their samples and everything, and then talk to me about how that goes. And then they put me back in the room. And then it's relaxing again for a minute, you know, until fights start. But I'm fight number 2, so I know fights are going to start. I'm going to start getting ready pretty quickly. Gear goes on. I'm in the back warming up. I don't do a crazy warm up. I just get sweating. I just want to be sweaty. I want to sweat, and I want to work a couple things that I'm going to have to do, you know? I just want them to be fresh in my mind. I just want those things to be fresh in my mind. I'm timing to be fresh on it. And I just want to be a little sweaty, lungs a little bit open, right? Because I know I'm going to come out, you know? So for me, I don't really do a whole lot of work in the back because I know I'm about to go. It's just how I am, you know? And I think skateboarding added to that because, like, I don't know. I don't really think about it. And when it comes to it, it's like when you look at a 12 stair, when you look at a 13 stair and you know you're about to try to tray bomb this 13 stair, it's like there's no like thinking about it, you know? It's like throw the board down and go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All send, you know? I
don't know what that trick is, but it sounds insanely dangerous. And then you're saying 13 stair, like at the top of 13 stairs, I got to grab that handle and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I don't know what just happened. I'm lightheaded, you know?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I hit a stair like that. Honestly, the Hungry Howie's gap up in Anthem is probably the closest thing that I did to that. And I tray flipped that back in the day, and yeah, man, that's I still feel those moments though, still, right? Like it's like I still skateboard and I still pretty good, you know. I still got some things up my sleeve, but you know we can't get away with trying to do tray flips down
no more, man. You're a UFC professional athlete now.
Exactly.
We got to watch you.
100%.
Put you on a leash.
Yeah, so we're not hitting those anymore. But just that feeling though, when you're you're on the runway and you're looking down the runway and there's the gap and you see it and you're looking down that thing and you're like, yo, I'm about to throw myself down this thing at like 30 miles an hour on this 4-wheel board, you know? It's like
insane.
It's like go time, right? It's like
So when you're talking about coming out and you're talking about having yourself ready, the camera angle we got, you kind of did like the woo, you know, you were high. So tell me, did you feel different? Like walking out to the cage every time to go fight, right? You know what your goal is. You know what you're going in there to do. Was this one a little bit different at all to you, or did you keep it the same? Was everything dialed in? Like what? So walk me through that walk.
I mean, to be honest, I guess it had to be different. It was in the UFC, right? It's at the biggest, this is the pinnacle of the sport. It's the pinnacle of like my life and the competition level I've had in my whole life, right? So it had to be different, right? But to be honest about like my feelings and my emotions and the whole thing, I felt at home. And I told a lot of the staff that there, because like, you know, again, I'm the type of person that I like to be involved in a lot of the people that are around me. So I like to thank the staff. I like to thank the commission. I like to thank a lot of the people around. Like that's how I am during fight day. I like to be really, just appreciative of everybody making these things happen, right? So that's how I am, and I'm just enjoying it and taking it all in. That's how I am out in every other organization as well. But it felt more organic being in the UFC doing that, right? 100%. So it was crazy. It was crazy because I felt like, I felt home. You know, and even when I'm walking out, I felt like this is where I was supposed to be. Got in the cage when I was looking across at him right before they called us to jump and go into the center. There's no other place I wanted to be.
That's perfect, because that's a product to me of, like you said, you're thinking about your community, you're thinking about everyone who helped you get there, and you're putting it all into a funnel. And to me, that's the biggest fuel that anyone could ever have, right? And I think that's what makes you so unique and so gravitating. It's something. Let's look at how you came out, how you fought. It was evident that you were going to win, because there was a part of the fan side of me where I was like, thinking as a veteran, as your opponent, like, welcome to the big leagues, bitch.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
This is my house.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock you out before you even think about getting to the UFC.
Yeah,
I don't know,
100%.
in my mind,
You
right?
came here to lose, boy.
Yeah. And maybe just like I don't know. I don't want to call it like an arrogant fan,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking like new guy hasn't been in the UFC yet. Fight on short notice. I'm about to make this dude like a balloon at him. I'm gonna sock him up.
Mhm.
You controlled the whole fight. The whole fight. You were the aggressor. You were suffocating him. The whole time, like I could see that maybe he was like trying to merge you out, like maybe establish his distance with a few leg kicks and a few long ones, but you went right back in there,
Mhm.
And so I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so you're looking at him. Sorry, it's just so exciting. So you're looking at him and you felt at home. You felt comfortable. I mean, I don't know. As you're staring at him before they call you in, nerves, I mean, did like the light flash before your eyes of like everything that you trained for? Or were you just so dialed in, like this was your moment, you're going to capitalize? I mean, what are you looking at? What are you feeling, especially if you're going back and forth?
I just feel like we do this, and I kind of took it into the same thing. I was going to be stepping into the cage on Saturday anyways, right? I just so happened to be stepping into the UFC cage at 2:00 around that time. I'm in the cage at the gym on Saturday every day, every week anyways. Like that's where we're at. We have sparring every week at 12:00. So by 2:00, we're just getting done with sparring. Like I'd already been punched in the face for 15 rounds on Saturday anyway. So for me, stepping in there, that's what it felt like. And and my coach said, take it all in, Marcus, see it all, see it all, absorb it all, and then go be you. Right. And when he said it to me, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because in my mind, what I'm saying, that's what I was doing. I was like taking it all in, seeing it all, knowing it was all there, and then just capitalizing on it. What I'm saying? Like, okay, I see everybody in the arena. I hear them. I see what's going on. I see the video prompters. Okay, the cage door just closed. Now we're in the cage. Now we're locked in. It was cool. I saw all that. This is great. That was a great walkout. That was a great moment. Now it's fighting time, So that's what we did. We got ready to fight, and I was ready. And in that moment, there's always nervousness. But it was a calm nervousness, because it was like and it's not even like I knew I was going to win nervousness, because I am very confident. I think I can beat anybody in the world. On my day, I really think I can beat anybody in the world. Give me a full camp, give me everything I need to do, and why not? I'm a human being, and vice versa. On any day, anybody can beat me in the world if they decide to make the right decisions and dedicate themselves the same way, right? It's like, that's the best thing about being a human being in general, is you can always change the outcome of your life. You can always change the outcome of your future based off of the decisions that you make on a daily basis, And that's kind of what I went in there thinking.
I think that makes you, on my end, now that I know you personally, a very, very dangerous professional. You have that moment, you feel it, you take it in, but then you digest it, and then you again have another level of fuel to fight with. And it showed. So going back to where I was getting all hyped up. Like, yeah, bitch. That went from quickly, even hearing the commentators, kind of talking about him first a little bit. I mean, at least from what I remember, I don't know, I was kind of whiting out at this point, to them quickly like, this is not turning around in the veteran's favor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a thing on the ESPN app that tracks, that shows, I showed you that earlier.
Significant strikes and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
That dude is lit up. Your picture is still like, it's your body. It was, dude, so impressive.
Thank you, bro.
There's no other words to say. It was insane.
It was, man. And I felt insane too. Cause again, I believe in myself, but then when you go do it and you go have a fight like that, and again, I have nothing but respect for that guy.
Of course.
Like for him to step in with me on that short notice too, he took the fight on short notice as well,
100%.
even if he was ready for it or not, he took the fight on short notice too. That takes a lot from a man to do that. You know what I'm saying? And just the way he carried himself, like going into the fight, I knew I had all the respect in the world for him. So I knew I was going to give him the respect he deserved. That's why I gave him everything of me, because I wasn't about to go in there and be like, oh, I don't respect you. That guy is a very dangerous guy.
Very.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on a tear, you know, because
Sure.
even feeling him, he felt very strong. He felt really good. And again, I had nothing but respect for him and his team. And I didn't even get that feeling from him in the cage too, which kind of tells me the type of guy he is. He respected me too, because he respects the game, you know, and he looked across the cage and he knew, like, oh, yep, this guy's here to fight. This guy's, you know, I think he thought he was going to win still. You know, we always got to go in there and have that feeling. But I think he knew I was there to fight. And that's one of the things about me. I'm there to fight. Don't think I'm going to be somewhere else, you know. Don't think I'm going to be somewhere else. Like, I don't get a chance to unleash that savage very often. So best believe when I get a chance to unleash that savage, I'm going to unleash him completely and fully. And then when it's time to put him away, I'm going to put him right back to where he goes. And I'm going to go back to being the person that I love to be, you know.
I love it. So, not really giving away game plan, but tell me, so through round one, you obviously won round one. As you're in the middle of the fight, maybe somewhere in there, and your game plan, like everything looked like it was going like right, you know? Did you feel that? Or maybe even at the ending of closing round one, you're like, we are on the right track. I in your mind.
So again, no, because I know people think that way, but like I am in the fight. Like I'm not even thinking about who's winning or losing in the fight. Like a lot of guys think that. Maybe it's good to think about it. And I like in a certain extent, at a certain point, I can understand like being smart and making good decisions based off of where you are in the fight. But I just didn't feel like that's the type of fight we were having. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like it was like that. Maybe in the third round, I would have thought that. Maybe. But for me, it was like, no, I have 5 minutes this next round. I'm round two. And I feel like that's a mistake I made back in the past. You know, like, oh, I'm losing for a moment or I'm winning for a moment. Like, I'm here to fight. I'm going to fight every moment that I can. Any moment I have to fight, I'm going to fight. And then when it's over, I'll know that I spent that time doing what I was supposed to be doing. And then if I won or I lost, then great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Great. Whatever happens. We all want to win in life, but losers are a part of life as well, you know? And I think that we can accept loss better, even if when it's scary even to lose. It's easier to lose when you know you gave everything you had, you know? It's easier to really deal with yourself and know, okay, well, I really gave it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it sucked to miss out, man. I really wish that I had a better breakout than I did, you know? But that's I'm not scared of it if I know I gave it my all. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the money round, round two, you come in and you drop that left straight, dude, on the button, knocked him on his ass, and you're going. I mean, I don't know. Everyone was losing their mind at that point because you're getting ready to finish the fight. And we talked about. I think it was. Gosh, was it the first episode we were talking about? You felt another man's energy. You know, falter out. Gone. Did you feel that too? Did you feel that on that exchange? Like, was that something you felt before?
So I didn't feel the punch, and that's why I knew it was a hard punch because I didn't feel the punch at all. Like I didn't feel it, and then when he landed, I was like, oh yeah, that hurt, you know. And then, but even in that, and I'm like, again, I smell blood, like I usually do. I really feel like I feel it. But I feel the kill, right? But that's why a lot of people are like, oh, he was giving up. I didn't feel that from him. I really didn't feel that from him. I felt like he had a very much fight in his self. I just felt like he was like still trying to get his cobwebs together because I felt like he was there, you know. And like usually I will feel like that wheel gone. I didn't feel that, you know. Like I felt like he was there.
That's wild.
And that's kind of, I think that's maybe even why I still went for the choke because usually I'd go down there and I would just like, all right, I'm gonna drop everything on you, you know. And that's what I'm gonna start doing, drop everything on him. And then I was like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu. You know, I've been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and I've been feeling really great with my jiu-jitsu, you know. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to sink in this choke. Here it is. You know, he's hurt. He's already hurt. We're in the second round. I know that there's going to be and I know I have good conditioning, you know. I've always questioned it. I do question it still, but like it's proven I have good conditioning, you know.
Very good.
You know, and I come out that way. So I trusted my conditioning. I was like, even if I go to the ground with him and he reverses the position, I trust myself, you know. I've been more trustful of myself. I put the work in. I've been doing these things. I trust myself and I'm okay with losing off of something that I thought that I had, you know, like because of the work I put in, you know.
Right.
So I told myself that in that moment. I was like, I'm okay. If he reverses me and I lose the position, I'll take that, you know, because I wanted to go for it. So after hurting him, I was like, yep, going for the submission. And once I threw it in, I was like, yeah, it's locked. It's mine.
Oh, man. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
I mean, how did that feel? Knowing that you sunk it in, you're gonna, I mean, you know he's gonna go.
And I didn't necessarily know. I was
No, you didn't?
I didn't still. At that moment, I was like, I'm going to squeeze, and I feel like he's going to go to sleep.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to squeeze, but even if he doesn't, in my mind, I was, even if he doesn't, I'm here for the fight, right?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
So, like, I don't really
Still
think
same
about
thing,
it being over until
it's over. Okay,
you
so
know?
it's over now. You won. He tapped. By the way, we're losing our minds in here. You know, everyone's screaming their heads off. It's over. Now what? How do you feel?
First things first, I feel like I want to thank and appreciate my opponent and make sure they're okay. You know, like that's my first thing first. And I know that's weird for a lot of people, but
that's honorable, man. Honestly, that's badass.
That's my thing. You know, I want to show the same respect that I showed before, you know, and it's like, I understand getting excited and going crazy about it too, but like, I know what we do this for. And I think, especially when you genuinely have respect for somebody, and I'm the type of person that, if I do lose respect for you, it's because you deserve to lose the respect from me, right? But even if I don't respect you, chances are I'm going to still try to show respect to you, you know? And the reason that is because at least I can live with myself knowing that I gave that I put that forward, you know, that I came respectfully no matter what. So no matter what you do on the opposite side, I don't have to really be drawn into it or feel like I have to attack you or do anything, because I know that I put out that energy that was respect, you know?
You built your own character, man.
Exactly.
You're like the humbled maniac.
Yeah.
You're humble, don't make me the maniac. And once you are the maniac, like a different character comes in. I love that.
Yeah, crazy. So that's my first thing. Check on my opponent, make sure they're all right, and then, you know, get my small celebration in, you know, just because it was a big achievement. And then, yeah, you know, that's
massive
basically
achievement.
Yeah.
1-0.
1-0
in the UFC. I already went to your profile. I already got your stats and everything.
Yeah, my wife was all over it too.
Oh yeah,
she was all over it, going through different posts and everything. Apparently, I should rename myself to Marcus the Big Dick McGee or something like that.
I heard about that already.
I forget what it was. Somebody posted it on my Twitter. Marcus Big Dick McGee.
Talk about Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, number 7 in the whole United States on trending list. Your boy here, top 10.
Yeah, that's
trending.
Nuts. Top 10.
Everybody was tweeting
Number
about
7.
you. I don't even have a Twitter, and I think my phone was going off to make a profile so I could tweet about you.
I'm with you. I have the Twitter, and I do get on it just to check and see what's going on, but I didn't even know what that meant. So when they told me, I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool.
The whole world is blowing up here. Everyone's like, oh, you're just like, I want to thank my opponent. It's the greatest thing that I've ever had.
Yeah, and then I'm being goofy, right? It's like, yeah, thank my opponent. All right, cool, guys. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, I love my wife, my family, my kids back home. And we're just like, you're the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
And I'm just like, yeah, cool, but I'm gonna go over here. I know, it's so weird like that, man. Dude. And I appreciate it all. You know, it's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just like, you know, I don't like to live in my own hype too much. You know, I feel like it's a toxic place to live, and I think some people live in that space well, right? But for me, I don't feel like it just doesn't benefit me as well. I feel like I'm a better all-around person. Like, the character, everything about me is just better when I don't live in that realm. So like, that's why I always try to stay away from that realm, because I feel like that's a dangerous realm for me. Don't let me get into myself too much, you know, man. Don't let me find out that I'm somebody. I might become an absolute savage, bro.
Driving, you know, Lamborghinis and helicopters.
100%, yo, foot on the front, fender, you know, chain out the back, 16 girls. My wife's like, what are you doing, boy?
Your rifle, she'll reel you in real quick.
100%.
Yeah, UFC fighter, you stand no chance against that.
I'm telling you, she would be on me. So yeah, you know, so that's where I like. For me, that's where I keep myself in that same tight state. I appreciate it, and that's why I just want to also say appreciation to. My inbox blew up. Like, I couldn't even get back to everybody, and I feel bad because, like, I hate being on my phone anyways, but I'm really good about usually getting back to people who reach out to me, especially when they're saying positive words. So they didn't have to take it out of their day, regardless of whatever reason is. They didn't have to take it out of their day to send me that message, you know. Right. So I try to reach out to everybody. So anybody who I did not reach back out to, anybody who I did not contact, I am extremely sorry. I will definitely try to get back to you, and if I don't get back to you and you really did want to talk to me, please inbox me again, you know, and say, hey, I inboxed you, but you probably seen it 200 inboxes ago. So, yeah, definitely reach back out and let me know. And I definitely try to get back to everybody as much as I can. I am one person, remember, and I hate text messaging or Instagram messaging or any of that stuff anyways. Ask my wife. So know that when I do text you back, it took a lot of energy for me to do that.
100%. I mean, the guy literally blew up overnight. We're talking 10,000 followers, Instagram. Again, like you said, the Twitter blew up everywhere.
It's crazy.
But that's the other side of it, is you're preparing for a moment like this, fighting, getting your opportunity, it going through, and then the rest of the world, like on our side, is just blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy how you're talking about that, because you're not trying to get sucked into that, because you can, because you blew up into something. If you do start diving down that hole, you ain't coming back.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I truly believe that. And that's just for me, though. That's just for me. Like, again, other people, everyone's different, right? We all find our sources of power, our sources of energy, our sources of fight from different things. And that's just not what I find my source to fight from. I always say it, I appreciate all the support. Yep. And I'm grateful for all the support for everybody. And I love that everybody wants me to be great and thinks I'm going to be great.
Yeah.
But that's not my why, you know what I'm saying? And it's not for all that, you know, and I don't want that to come off as like a jerk or anything, because it's not what I mean. I appreciate it. I love that everybody supports me and that they congratulate me and they'll say things like, oh, you're going to be a champ and things like that. But that's not my why, you know, that's not why I do it. And that's not my fuel, you know. A lot of my fuel comes from like all the extra things like you're saying. Like,
yeah, but let's be honest and say, is it, if you don't reach back out, is it more about you or is it more about them?
It's 100% more about me.
Yeah.
It's about me for sure.
Right? So like, if someone sends you a message, bro, congratulations, it's the greatest thing, you're badass, blah, 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 and they get their feelings hurt because maybe you haven't gotten back to them, then it becomes about them. Just leave the message.
Exactly.
You know, you feel it. Trust me. If there's anybody you can give support to and you do not get a response, but someone feels it, it is Marcus.
It's me.
Trust
for sure.
me.
For sure. And just know, like, and I would definitely try to message back, but just know, like, it's not you, it's me. For sure.
And the oldest line in the book, it's not you, it's
it
me.
It really is, though. It really is. Like, my wife's always giving me a hard time about it. I don't really like, I don't know, I'm really weird with compliments. I'm really weird with a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And a lot of it probably comes from like upbringing, different things that I deal with. But I found strength in that, you know, and I feel like everyone's got to find their own strength in the things that they go through in life, you know, and that's just mine, you know.
Yeah, you use it as a tool, man.
And I use it as a tool, you know, and for me, staying away from that is like one of the tools that have kept me strong and keep me motivated, keep me disciplined, honest with my family. It just keeps me good because, again, like I've said it multiple times, like I wasn't always this person, you know. I've had a lot of different points in my life of the person and the man I was, and I feel like I've always been a good man, a good person, you know. But again, I would let my inhibitions, I would let my ego, I would let all these other things, these outside sources, be more in control of my decisions, right? And then, I mean, that's the difference, right? That was the biggest difference. What I chose to do, what I decided to do. 100%. Did I go left today or did I go right today? You know, which way was I supposed to go? Exactly. You know? And now these days, I really try to stay focused on which way I'm supposed to go, which way that really deep inside here that I need to take myself, you know, and it's been good to me, you know, it's been good to me. And I gave it up to the Lord and Savior, and that's my, you know, for me in particular, that's my rock, you know, like, I have to say it again. I'm not a religious person. I'm not into religion, but the relationship that I have with God it's so special to me. And I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it, you know. Goosebumps. I know he's with me always. And like, and that's in the bad too. Like I had to say it even between all this, like, I'm not just proclaiming him because I won and it sounds cool to do. Like we could have lost and I was going to be super thankful for everything that he did for me this week. This is an amazing week. For me to live 32 years and have an experience like this, period. First of all, I got to live 32 years. Yes. If that's not a blessing enough in life, I don't know what we're talking about, people. You know what I'm saying? I've woke up 32 years in a row. Like that's pretty good, I have to say. So for me, God is great, you know. So that was always my first thought in the mind. But then to get the win and do everything else that we did on the side of that is like, come on now, you know. I can't even, that's not, like, I might have put the work in, but man, he gave me that, you know 100%. What I'm saying? He gave me that. He put that here. And now I'm just walking through faith. Yeah. And I did say a quote that night, which was awesome. And it sounds like I say that quote all the time, but I actually only saw that quote that morning. And I had watched the movie before. The Book of Eli is in the movie.
Man.
It's a great movie, right?
What a movie.
I love it. And I had watched that movie multiple times, but I never resonated with that part, with the part of the quote that I'm about to say. And as much as the morning, so my buddy took off that fight day morning, and I'm just in there. I'm like, let me turn the TV on, watch some TNT. We'll see what's going on. And the commercial comes on, and it's Book of Eli. Or it's a commercial, Book of Eli, and the girl's walking, and she's like, "Do you even know which direction we're going?" And he says that quote to her. I walk. I don't need directions. She's like, "Then how do you know where we're going?" He said, "Walk by faith, not by sight." I was like,
Well,
everything in me was like, "Ooh, calm down, calm down." But
yeah, well, you did say it with Daniel Cormier.
I did.
You did say
I had it. It was with me from that from that moment on. I heard that, and I was like, that's why even win, lose or draw, right? Walk by faith, not by sight, right?
It.
If I lost, walk by faith, not by sight. If I win, walk by faith, not by sight.
Yes.
I'm super excited about that part of it. So it's pretty cool.
Like a true professional, spoken like a true professional. I want to walk through some of the fight.
Yeah, so let's dip into this. I actually haven't seen the full fight yet. I haven't went back and checked out the full fight. Honestly, through everything going on, I saw a clip of the left hand and the whizzer and a couple things, but this is gonna be my first actual look at the fight. I feel like I remember every moment though. So
you do.
Yeah, I remember touching gloves right here.
Yep.
I remember just being like, okay, range. I remember the ref saying, "Hey, watch your fingers." And I was like, yeah, I understand. I know I'm putting my hand out there, but I'm pretty controlled with my weapons.
Your fingers, like, what do you mean? Because they're out there. Like you talk about, like, poking?
Yeah, for poking. So they tell you, if you're going to have your hands out, have your hand up, not out here, right?
I got you.
As a southpaw against orthodox too, which I came out southpaw, you want to play we kind of want to beat each other's lead hand, right?
Okay.
So right here, he switches southpaw on me too. I was going to start throwing that leg kick, but he switched back to orthodox because that's his comfortability zone. I knew that the only time he switched to southpaw, he was only going to be throwing kicks. He wasn't going to be boxing. Right here. See, he switched to southpaw, and he went to throw that side kick. He likes to throw side kicks from southpaw, which I understand too. I like to throw it too because our right leg is our power leg, right?
Okay.
And everybody thinks I know people are going to think I'm a southpaw off of here, or that I'm left-handed, because I keep coming out southpaw in fights, but I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed.
You're fast, by the way. Did you see that combo he tried to land on you, and you came out, and then you came right back in? That is footwork, man.
Yeah.
Spinning back.
So I remember throwing that and being like, man, I need to slow down. That would have landed.
Wait, that would have landed? So what do you mean it would have landed? Let's go back here to...
Right there.
Yeah.
So you see how I feinted the first point, like I feinted and then stepped through.
Right.
I needed to really mean the feint. So
gotcha.
Instead of just going to it, I'm so fast, I just went to it. Right. Mean it, freeze him, make him really freeze so he thinks I'm gonna punch him, and then hit my spin. All right.
Okay.
That's what I should have done. But
gotcha.
And I remember really thinking that in that moment, like, okay, if I throw that again, make sure that I do that, right? And I didn't end up throwing it again, so because I just didn't feel it yet again. But I remember thinking that in that moment, like, all right, the next time I throw that, I can land that, but make sure that I'm aware of what I need to do in the process of doing it.
I got you. So at this point, for me, like you said, you're really fast. You're moving fast. From an outsider's perspective, I'm like, you are way in control. This fight is gonna it's gonna go your way. So after that spinning back kick, my mind was like, he's winning this. Like right now, I'll be honest and say, like, I didn't have a doubt because I knew that you were going to accomplish your goal. But this is the one for me where I was like, dude, Marcus is going the off. You know? Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you thought that because I still wasn't even thinking that at this moment.
Because look, you're still keeping, like, he tries coming in, he tries setting the distance, but you keep the pressure on. So you're defense.
Yeah. Honestly, that was one thing we've been working on too. Like, I've really been working my grappling, and I don't think I'm a bad grappler. And I think the guys in the lab have been telling me too, like, I'm not, like, I'm a really good grappler. It's just that I needed the time to start really focusing on that being one of my crafts. You know, I'm so comfortable in the striking realm. I'm so aware of what I need to be doing in the striking realm. And the same thing is in the grappling realm. I just need to actually exude it and believe in it, right? So even when I went with him, I was like, all right, I'm going to be confident in my grappling exchanges with him. If he shoots, if he catches my leg, if he does anything, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to scramble, make the right decisions, and I'm going to get out of it.
I think your defense is 100%, if I'm correct, going up on your profile, because every time he got you, either you shook it off, and you reversed out of it right away. Right?
On my defensive, like him taking me down.
Yes.
Yeah. So he didn't actually hold me on the ground at all.
Right.
Yeah. He didn't get it. He did get me against the cage for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first left hand that I landed.
Left. Yes.
And I seen his nose. I seen his nose split open right there.
Right.
And I was like, man, okay.
Okay. So yeah. So he's trying
Right
to
here.
create that distance.
I felt that moment.
Yep.
Boom.
Bang.
Right.
Man, let's go back to it one more time. This is going. I mean, this is 2 minutes and 25 seconds into the fight. Bop on the dot. 2 minutes and 25 seconds in the first round. Marcus lands that first left and a second one to follow. So you knew that was working.
Yeah. It's not even that it was working. I just knew that I landed it. You know, I was like, because I have a good left hand. I have a good left hand, good right hand. I have good hands, you know. And there it is again, me really going for it again, timing it, trying to just find it, you know, and then just showing it too right there. Show it, teep kick, you know.
Yep.
And then this is him. That was a good side kick right there.
Man, yeah.
My guys were like, "Oh my gosh, good eyes!" Because I mean, that was a really good side kick, and that's why he was in it the whole time. He asked me everything he did here. That was a good right hand. He hit me
look
with
at that
one
combo
right there,
though.
and he felt that he hit me with that.
Yeah, minute 50 into the first round, you come back with a sweet combo after he missed that kick.
Yeah, so he hit me with that one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He tried to come over the top. Okay.
And that's what I was trying to do, pull and then throw those, and then throw a barrage of punches. You know, I have a good pull that I like to throw punches off of too.
Okay.
It looks sick when you hit it. You know, especially go to the body.
He did it again. A minute 38. He tried to come over the top with you again, and you reversed it. See, look, he tried to push you against the cage.
And I do think I took my time a little bit too much right here, but I think that had a lot to do with the short notice. Like I was still wondering, like, hey, I know I've been busting my butt, but like I'm fighting a UFC fighter on 2 days, 3 days notice. Like I'm probably gonna go ahead and check my gas tank and make sure there's the Grampy. Roll over,
a minute
hard
12 left. He tried.
Yeah,
because he had you against the fence.
And I heard the ref say, "Stop grabbing the fence," and I didn't even know he was grabbing the fence. You know?
Oh, okay, trying to sink you in.
And boom, right there, he gets that back. I'm like, nope,
not
Grampy,
today, Junior.
Hard whizzer, like lift him up, get back. He pushes me back to the cage, and again, I wasn't like going full blow. I wasn't like really trying to pull him off me really hard right there because I didn't know how great my cardio was going to be. You know, even though I'm feeling great right here, I feel great. Nothing's going on.
Fatigued at all.
But there's still that question in my head. So I was like, you know what? This is just the first round. I'm in this fight, right? Like, don't make mistakes that you've made in the past and think too far along. Like, just this is a fight. I'm in it. As long as I'm in it, I'll be here, right? I felt him.
Did you felt that one?
Yeah, I felt him going for it.
45 seconds left in the first round. He pushed you back into the cage.
And you can see him take it off. You see him look right there?
Okay.
That was him saying, oh, I'm about to go for this spinning elbow. And I was like, you see me tuck my head.
Nice. All right. I like that. Let's go back to that again. So you felt it, pushed you up. He released it, and you immediately tuck your chin.
Yeah, you see, right when he looked that way, I felt him. I felt it right there. I'm like, yep, he's throwing it.
He's coming, tuck.
Boom, there it is.
And then look at you. Yep, then you come back out. Great.
Yeah.
Good.
I was like, that was good thinking, man. I like that. You know, I thought it was super smart.
Respect to the opponent.
100%.
All right.
Super smart. And then, this is 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, we're about to go. We're about to go. So I come get in his face, and I'm like, that's when my hands kind of got back to my chin, because I'm like, we're about to go. Let's get after it,
Sure.
And then he was like, getting space, and I'm like, all right, come on.
Not today.
And then, so I'm like, oh, he's going to come, and he didn't come at first. And then he waited till 10 seconds to start.
I got you.
This is where he started. This is where he decided that they knocked the butt. They knock it.
Oh, left again.
Yeah, that's what it was. I hit him with that, and now he decides to rush me right here toward the end to get the last rush in before the bell.
Maybe not.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, there it is.
Okay,
right
there it is. It's like literally 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
So
I just remember feeling that.
Yeah, so you hit him with the left, like 10 seconds? Okay, 10 seconds left in the round.
Head kick. Switch back to southpaw.
Man, you lit we talk about levels, man. You lit his head up.
Right there. See that touch? Like
Bang.
Once I knew I touch it, I'm like,
you're going.
Yeah. Once I touch it and I know my range, that's why he didn't want to touch it again. He was like, no, I'm not touching it again. He's hit with that left down the pipe. And I'm pretty good about avoiding that right. Yeah. Because it's like knowing things, right? Like there's just like jiu-jitsu and everything else, right? There's positionings and times and places where you can't make mistakes. Southpaw against orthodox, that rear hand, we can't make mistakes. He couldn't make the mistake, and I couldn't make the mistake.
100%.
Because if he hit me with any of those right hands, I would be hurt too.
I got
you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So that's why it's like we each had to make a decision. That rear kick, that's smart. Like, we're both open stance. Really smart for him to hit that rear kick. So I threw it too. You know, like, all right, I got that rear kick too, you know? And this is what we're doing. And then the side kick, I'm like, yeah, I got side kicks. I got that. I've been working on my side kick.
Check me out.
Yeah, like I can be measured. I'm like, here's the left hand again, you know? And that was a check
so
hook.
what is this here?
So we call
that part to me, I was like, oh shit.
So we call that's a check hook is what that is. But
Okay.
like I do a lot of the check hooking off of like backpedaling, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I'll backpedal and instead of going straight back, you don't go back more than twice, right?
Oh.
2 steps back, and then
Nice.
I'm angling out. And whatever way I angle out, whichever lead leg is forward, check hook out, move.
So what happened here?
I went to go do the same thing. And
Okay,
he reaped is what they call it, right?
Reaped. Okay, so that's 4 minutes and 30 seconds into our left in the second.
And he reaped. You see how he did the
Yeah.
reap right there too? Reaping is basically like duck walking into your stance. You see that?
Gotcha.
So he reaped, and then I ended up making a mistake, and I tripped over my own self.
Gotcha.
Because he had his leg there. So
Yep.
it was me making a mistake. Needed a head right there.
I wish that would have been nice if you were able to.
If I was in there.
Yeah.
That was a really
Okay.
good inside kick that he threw right there. It was really
So where
good
to catch
time.
you? So we got 4 minutes.
That was a kneecap. So
Okay.
he
Oh,
catch me right on the kneecap
okay.
right there. And it hurt, but it hurt him too. I know it did.
It did?
Yeah, because he kicked it pretty hard, and I was off balance. But
So 4 minutes and 17 seconds, and you both kind of
yeah,
that's some damage to each other. Mm-hmm. Okay.
and that's where I checked the next one. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the next one though.
Yep.
You throw that inside again because I was like, that was a good hit, and then he took the shot. I
Yep.
lifted him up.
Right at that left, though. You were coming at that left again.
Coach wanted me to get head position here. I did want to get head position, but I didn't really plan on keeping him here. I was like, hey, I don't like the position I'm in with him. I'm just going to put a little weight on him here,
Okay.
see what he does. And then he reversed me. I was like, okay, all right, he's very much in this fight. Bet he's very much in this fight. He ain't giving up. He felt so strong here. He felt good, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but you see him grabbing the cage right here, right?
Right here. Yep.
Yeah. Again, which I don't really care. It's a fight, you know? Like, bro, like I fought
Well, that's
in worse
something
places.
small that you don't even need to worry about.
Exactly. But you know, they were calling from him grabbing the cage. You see him going for it
Yep.
again. I didn't even notice it back then. I wouldn't have said anything about it, you know.
I
And
gotcha.
Again, people get mad about it. I'm just a different type of person.
So here you are again. He takes you down 3 minutes and 24 seconds. And
we were
you're
working
up
that
and out.
whizzer hard, right?
Yeah.
Whizzering hard. Just whizzer him hard, and then face him. Boop. Yep.
There it is. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the second.
Straight left hand.
Straight left.
It was right after this whizzer too.
Yep.
I knew right after this I wanted to get right back in his face.
Yes,
he
you did.
backpedaled a little bit. I was like, yep, right back in
Right
his
here.
face. This is what I do. What? Boom.
Bang.
Yep. And then
Oh,
it
hammer
hit him,
fist. Yep.
and he dropped, but I didn't feel it. So
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Because from our view here, I was like, game over.
And those are the ones they say that hurt the most. When you throw a punch and you don't really feel it, those
Yeah.
are the ones that hurt guys the most. Because I hit him, I knew I hit him, but I didn't feel it. So when he dropped, I was like, "How hurt is he? I don't know," you know. And that's why
Right.
I took my time as I threw those ground and pound shots, and I was just getting time. And he did a good job. Like I didn't get a good shot off on this first shot, right? Boom, I
Bang.
drop him. And then I throw this one, miss.
Missed,
So I hammer
right.
fist. Throw that one, miss. He goes back to it and goes right back to his knees. So I'm thinking he's recovered here, you know?
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I've really been doing jiu-jitsu. I have that hand in there. I'm gonna go for this choke. I know I can go for it. Maybe I get it, maybe I don't. And then once I felt him fall back on it, I had so much more room
Yep.
to really still keep choking there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is mine, you know. And the ref had told me earlier, make sure you take it home with you. So don't let go until I tell you. Even if he
got
taps,
you.
don't let go until I tell you.
Because you're right here as you roll over, your face, like, it looks like you're squeezing the shit out of him,
I
right?
was. I had so
Yeah.
much more to squeeze, and you'll see he taps me before I let go.
Right.
He taps me quite a bit before I let go, and it
Right.
wasn't because I wanted to hold it on him more.
Right.
It's not like I just planned on doing that.
Okay.
But he taps right here, and
Yep.
he told me not to do it until
And
he
then
took
he
my hand
breaks.
off.
Okay, I got you.
So-
and then here you are. First thing you do, respect.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone go back to it. Yes, right after the tap with about 3 minutes left, Marcus rolls over. And the first thing he does before anything else, leans over, gives respect. Look
You
at
know,
them.
respect to warriors. You know, he's a savage, man, and just because one of us had to lose that fight doesn't mean that he's not still a savage. You know,
100%.
And he put a lot of work in this for us, and I wish him nothing but success in his career. You know, and I don't know him personally, but he seemed like a great guy to me. He showed nothing but respect to me, and for me, those are things that you can't buy. You know, you can't buy that type of class act, and I definitely think that he's going to have a great future ahead of him too. So, and I appreciate him taking the fight with me and giving me the opportunity because he had to do it too. He was a whole part of this. Like, if he said no to the fight, for even if anything would have happened to him and they would have been mad at him, he could have still said no to the fight and none of this ever happened, right?
Right.
So I have to give him kudos and have to be appreciative to him as well. He'll be a part of my life and my story forever as well. I will be a part of his. So it's crazy to think that we left a part of ourselves in there with each other, and that's huge, right? We don't even know each other, and we're going to be a part of each other's life forever. So
100%. That's
crazy, man, right?
chills. So know that there's a lot ahead for Marcus, especially in this journey. He's got a 4-fight deal. I would really love to dip into more of this. We'll give more of the people of that, but I want to stay on this and just say that regardless of where it goes, man, you had the markings of a true champion, and that's because it's not just in the cage. You do it outside as well, and just a champion at life, not just in your professional career. Now, professional career as a UFC fighter, undefeated, 1-0, Marcus Maniac McGee.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on exuding that. That's what I want to push. That's the energy I want to push to the world, and I'm gonna keep pushing that, regardless of what people think. That's what I want to push. Respect, honor. That's the code. Virtue. Let's go. You know,
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. That's what it's like to be a man. That's what it's about to be a man, and in my own opinion, you know. And that's what I'm gonna keep pushing out to the world. Positivity, love, peace and love, baby. So yeah, I'm excited for these next fights. I'm gonna get healthy, make sure we're ready to go, and then be ready to step back in the cage and do the same thing with another man, and leave myself in there with another, with another man. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but maybe I should word that differently.
With a different warrior.
If you like it, then cool. I'm cool with it too. But yeah, so man, I'm super appreciative of everything. Appreciative of the UFC. Appreciative of my management, Iridium Sports Agency. Appreciative of my opponent and his coaches and his team. Just appreciative of everybody. You guys over here at the Elevated Celsius Tap Room, taking care of us. Had the 100 guys over here, 100
Absolutely.
family members in here going nuts. It was crazy to see those videos at the end of it, and it's just been surreal, So I'm super excited for the future, and I'm gonna stay diligent to the man that I am and keep on growing. I have so much growth to do, and I think people think I'm old. I'm getting better every day. I'm getting wiser. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting faster. So don't think that, come prepare for me, because I'm going to come prepare for you. And again, I'm just a different type of person. So if you vibe with it, cool. If you don't vibe with it, cool.
We'll still be here.
We'll still be here.
Yes.
So yeah, man. Yeah, it was cool. So it was great to do it. I'm glad we got to recap this too, and just
I've been waiting.
And I hadn't seen the video, so it was cool to kind of watch it. And the craziest part about that, I was telling everybody, is I remember every moment. That's wild. I felt at home. And when my coach told me to take it all in, I did. I took every moment in there, every exchange, every grappling situation, every moment. That's the most that I've remembered of a fight ever. So to do it in the UFC, this is where I'm supposed to be.
100%. Honored.
Definitely.
Honored to be sitting next to you, man.
Definitely, man. Thank you.
Thank you all again for turning in, and our man here.
Yes, sir.
Big
yes,
moment.
sir. Yes,
a
sir.
lot more to come.
And then you can go ahead and find me on Instagram at Maniac McGee or Maniac_McGee.
He's trending.
Well, on Twitter, I think I'm trending. On Instagram, maybe
and
too.
Instagram too, blowing up.
So yeah, Maniac_McGee on Instagram, Maniac McGee 07 on Twitter, and then I got a TikTok that I have going down too. Find me on YouTube. I got a cooking show that's about to drop. It's kind of funny, I will see if you're into that. So yeah, just trying to do a lot of things and really trying to take it all in and do whatever I can. So
having fun in life, man.
Having fun in life. You only get one shot at these things, and you got to do it. So yeah, you can find me on any of those platforms, and then yeah.
And I'm Matt Brett Anthony M. Or if not, just find something this guy's tagged in. Maybe I'll be there.
100%. Any Elevated Celsius Tap Room posts?
Any elevated stuff right here, dog.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you so much. Peace.